Do you know you've been dating yourself all this time? Let me explain to you why. This might sound very weird, but over these past few years, I learned there's no other people. Every single people that you met, you encounter, it's your own reflections. So a couple of weeks ago, I saw a post from a Facebook group, and this girl is asking, how can I get rid of the desire, the feeling of going back to her ex? And how can she get rid of that feeling? And how can she just get over her boyfriend, her ex at the time? So when I saw this post, it really hit me because my personal story is I've been single for 10 years now, and my last breakup was very traumatic for me, and I wasn't able to date anyone for the longest. And this past few years, when I started practicing spiritual journey, then I realized everyone that I experience is a reflection of myself. And that means everyone that you encounter, you are experience that person's through your own reflection, like a mirror. And that doesn't mean those people has no soul or there's no free will from that person. They do, but there's a scream in front of you. What you experience from them is your own reflection. It's telling you yourself that you have an issue internally that you need to resolve. And this person is a reflection of that. So let me give you an example. Let's say if you're dating someone who is very abusive and who is very not considered a good person in a way, but you somehow still dating them and cannot get rid of them. That is because internally, somehow in your past, you have that same trauma. You have that experience maybe from your childhood, from your parents, most likely, and you might carry that feeling state, carry that trauma with you into your current present moment, and whoever you date with or whoever you encounter with, it reflects that. And that's a cycle loop that many people, most of us, cannot get out of that loop. And in order to get out of that cycle loop is to find your cause within. What caused that? Why you keep repeating meeting this type of or dating this type of same person? And once you find out cause, then your obsession or your attachment to your relationship to your partner will be dissolved. You will be detached. And so this person is asking, how can she get over that ex relationship with her emotion? The best advice is to realize that every single person that you encounter dating, it's actually you. And for my personal examples, I was stuck in that loop because I was looking for the feeling state that I'm attached to. The feeling of the person is very romantic, very nice, very gentleman, and he's older than me, and that also tells me something now. And because growing up, I don't have a father figure, so I have that desire that's missing spot, missing seat, put it that way, missing seat within my consciousness. So when I go on the dating world, then I'm looking for that daddy figure. So I will be more attracted to people who's older than me. Okay. And that is nothing wrong with that, but I'm just use this as example to have a reflection to let you guys see what's going on within myself and it's reflecting to the dating world. In order for me to get rid of them is to realize the attachment to my ex is actually me attaching to that feeling that I'm chasing. It's not necessarily the person is good, it's a nice person, of course, but then that not able to letting go is me attaching to the feeling that I'm chasing. It's not the person. Does that make sense? So if you encounter something like that, most likely you are chasing that familiar feeling. So if you have a trauma in the past, abusive, domestic abusive relationship, then you are familiar with that. Let's say you, like, let's use myself for example. My experience in my childhood is I don't have a father figure in my life. So that's a trauma, per se, a missing spot. So I carry that within me, and that's my familiar situation, right? My familiar reality. So I tend to look for that. And as within, so without. So everything within me, it protects that. So if I feel there's no father figure, then I will look for one externally, unconsciously at first, right? Oftentimes people ask, what is your type? And the type that you describe, it's actually not how that person looks like. It's how that person make you feel like. So it's, let's say if he's rich, then you will feel like, you might feel like, oh, I'm spoiled and I look rich along with it. That's a feeling. And then the person who's rich is a description of the look. I'm not a relationship expert here, but I'm sharing this, my own personal experience, and it really reflects, and it also reflects extended to my career because due to that relationship and the person provide me a home feeling. Like, of course, I have home feeling with my family growing up, but this is different. It feels like the home feeling of my independency of my own home. Okay, so he provided that feeling state for me. So when we broke up, when I had that trauma and the experience that I have with my ex, it leads me to want to become a real estate agent to help other couple to have that same feeling, which is turned out to be a good thing. But then not everybody has this rainbow and sunshine experience, right? Some people might turn into the wrong side and they might try to escape their reality, meaning their feelings they right? They don't want to deal with that feeling. They will have depression, stress. I've been through all that. So I know. Once you practice to go within yourself, you will find a lot of those unwanted desires, unwanted traumas, unwanted feelings that you've been carrying, unwanted stories that you've been carrying all this time. And the longer you carry, or the older you've been carrying, it's harder to let it go because you're back to the familial. So when you're familiar with that feeling, even it's negative, even you don't like it, but your mind, your subconscious, your ego, your identity is cling to that. They want you to stay there. They want you to play that character. They want you to continue being the you, the old you. And that's why the change is hard for us. That's why the change is hard for everybody. And when there's a change, when there's a breakup, in this case, then it'll be hard for us to accept, to let go, and to move on. And that's really what happened to me from my last relationship. And now, after I had this realization, after this spiritual awakening on this portion of my reality, I'm now opening up for a new relationship. But this time, I'm not looking for the feeling that I've been carrying. I'm looking for someone who is vibrating and having in the same frequency so we can align with each other and not just take or give. It's the balance. And many people ask me if I want to date you, What does it take? And I never answer this question because if I answer this question, then I creates a paradox, right? A person who show up in my reality screen, when I project that person, that means that person, if they came to my life and I feel the connection, that means they already vibrate, they already tune into that same frequency to match with my frequency at the time they show up, right? They won't be asking you, what does it take today? Because when you ask that question, then that you're not aligned. Your frequency is off. Does that make sense? So, anyways, I'm not the relationship expert, okay? I just know if you're in that position, and I know how to be able to hear your emotion, your feeling, and your subconscious mind to not to be attached to that feeling state anymore. So if you would like to learn more, I'm starting a school community. It's called Quantum Consciousness Portal. And the purpose of having this community is to share, to explore, to learn each other's experience, and to discuss a topic like this openly. And right now it's free to join. It's a waiting list, and the portal will be open sometimes in February of 2026. So you still have time to join that waiting list for free. And also, if you are watching this channel on YouTube, please subscribe. I noticed there's a lot of new viewers, but they are not subscribed. So please subscribe because it helps the algorithm to spread this kind of collective consciousness to more people that who needs to hear this. And if you're on an audio platform, you can also write me a review as a comment, as a feedback, as a question. And also don't forget to follow. Then that way we will also be able to spread this type of consciousness, awaken more human beings on this 3D world, 3D dimension. Okay, until next time, please stay safe out there and peace within.